Good day and Dangal greetings. My name is Kevin Franz Albuena, and today in this video we will present and discuss our program entitled Smart City Emergency Response Management System or SCERMS.
Dangal greetings everyone. I am Lian Janelle Vidalde and I'll be explaining some parts on our main class. First, in our main, we created a buffered reader named Reader. Then we created a new city graph object named Graph. This will store the locations in the city and the paths that connects them. We also created a new unit map object named Unit, which will associate on emergency units with the location on the graph. Next, we created an emergency BST object named Emergency. This is a binary search tree responsible for storing and managing emergency events, and it also priorities urgency. We declare a variable named nearest responder in unit type. This is used to store the nearest responding unit to an emergency. And lastly is the summary object named Summary, which is responsible for keeping track of the overall statistics of the program, like the total number of emergencies. Next, we declare some int variables like choice, distance, urgency, and unit ID. We also declare string variables such as location name, starting location, destination location, emergency report, emergency location, and responder unit name. We declared Boolean variable as well for the menu and location. In menu, it will control the menu loop in the program, while in locations, it will track whether the location has been added to the graph or not. Now we can see in the code the graph.add location. This is responsible for adding location to the city graph. In example, in our program, we add Banay-Banay in the city graph by using graph.add location Banay-Banay. Next is the graph.add path. This is responsible for defining the paths between the locations. So, for example, here in our program, we made graph.add path Banay-Banay, Pulo 2. So, Banay-Banay and Pulo is the locations, while the number, which is 2, represents the distance between them in kilometers. Another one is the unit.add unit. This adds emergency units to the map. For example, in our code, we added emergency unit by coding unit.add unit police unit 7 Pulo. The first argument is the name of the emergency, which is the police unit. The second argument is the unit ID, which is 7, and the third is the location, which is Pulo. Next is the emergency insert, emergency.insert. It is responsible for inserting emergency events into the emergency BST. In our code, for example, we added 7 car accident Pulo. The first argument is the urgency level, which is the 7. Then, the second is the type of emergency happened. So, it's the car accident. And lastly, the location where the emergency occurred, which is Pulo. Lastly is the summary.increment emergencies. Basically, this just adds the total number of the emergencies to the summary. every time that there's an emergency inserted, this will also increment. Now, the creation of our menu. In our menu, we present 8 choices, which are initialize city map, add location, add respondent unit, add emergency request received, most urgent emergency, dispatch responder, and summary. So while true, this menu will keep on looping until the user chooses on exiting the system. Now, we made a switch case which will be responsible in displaying the case that the user chooses. In case 1, its main purpose is to display the city graph and the unit map. We made it work by calling the display city graph class and display unit map class in the main class. In case 2, its purpose is to add new location. First, it will ask what location you want to add. Then, using the reader, it will read what the user input, store it in the variable location name, and it will be added to the graph through graph.addLocation. Inside the case 2, there's another 2 cases. First, it will ask if you want to add new location paths or not. The reader will read the inputted data of the user and store it in a variable choice. If the reader chooses 1, then the program will ask the starting location and where it is destined to. The reader will store the starting location in the variable starting location, while the destination will be stored to destination location. Next, our program will check if this input location exists by graph.checkPath. If it does exist, the user will ask for the distance between the locations in kilometers, and the reader will store it in the variable distance. By completing this all, the path will be added successfully using graph.addPath. But if the user chooses 0, then it will break and the program will display the main menu. In case 3, its goal is to add respondents. First, it will ask for the name of the respondent, then the reader will store it in the variable responder unit name. Then, it will ask for its ID. The reader will then again store it to the variable unit ID. Lastly, it will ask for the respondent's location. The reader will store the data to the variable location name. Once all the requirements are fulfilled, the respondent will be added by unit.addUnit. In case 4, it's responsible for adding emergency report. First, the system will ask what is the emergency, and the reader will store it to the variable emergency report. Then, it will ask where the emergency happened, and it will be stored at the emergency location variable. Lastly, it will ask for the urgency of the emergency. Here we created a while loop for error handling. The program will check if the input urgency is less than 1 or greater than 10. So, if the user does, the program will display a error message stating that the input is invalid. But if the user input the correct urgency level, then the emergency will be added and the summary that increment emergencies will be called. In case 5, its goal is to display all emergency requests received. We just called the class display emergency to display it. And lastly is case 6, where it displays the most urgent emergency report. So just like in case 5, we just called the class display most urgent in the emergency in order to display it. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Tama greetings, I'm John Rod Morada and I will be discussing half of the main. For the case 7, this code is executed when the user selects 7, which deals with handling the most urgent emergency. Emergency urgent equals emergency that get most urgent. The method retrieves the emergency with the highest urgency. It is passed the root of the emergency list or tree. Check if there's no urgent emergency. If urgent equals null, system print most urgent emergency, no emergency, and then break. If no urgent emergency exists, urgent equals null, the system prints a message and exits the current action via break. Display the most urgent emergency. The system prints most urgent emergency, then display the method emergency that display most urgent emergency that get root. If an urgent emergency is found, it is display using display most urgent method, and the system proceeds to find the nearest responder. Finding the nearest responder. Unit display unit map. Nearest responder equals unit that nearest responder. The display unit map method shows a map of available responder units. The nearest responder method search for the nearest unit to the emergency location using a graph-based representation of locations. Check for nearest responder. We use if else. Nearest responder equals null. System.out.print ln no responders found, or else system.out print nearest responder plus nearest responder get unit name. If no responder is found, the system informs the user. If a responder is found, the unit name and location are displayed. For the computing the shortest route, we use int this equals graph the shortest distance. The shortest distance between the responder's location and the emergency location is computed using the shortest distance method of the graph object. Display the computed route. We display graph that display shortest path. The system computes and display the route using display shortest path along with the calculated distance. Handle special cases for route distance. If no route exists, it displays no route found. If the distance is 0, it means incident is already resolved. Otherwise, the responder is dispatched and the route is visualized using visualize shortest path. For finalizing the incident, the increment resolve method updates the system summary with the resolve emergency distance. The delete method removes the resolve emergency from the list. And for displaying the summary that displays summary. When the user selects option 8, the system displays a summary of the current status such as the number of resolved emergencies, distance covered, etc. For the case 0, exiting the system. System.out.print existing system now. Thank you for using cerns, reader.close, and return. If the user selects option 0, the system display an exit message closes the buffer reader and terminates the program. And for the invalid input, we display system.out that print invalid input, please try again. If the user enters an invalid choice that doesn't match any valid case, the system prompts the user to try again. For the location name, buffer reader reads and returns a location name. Starting location reads and returns the starting location. Destination location, it reads and returns the destination location. The choice reads and returns an integer choice, ensuring that the input is a valid number. Distance reads and returns a distance, ensuring the input is valid number. Urgency reads and returns an urgency level, ensuring the input is valid number. ID reads and returns a respondent unit ID, ensuring the input is a valid number. That's all. Thank you.
Good day and dangal greetings. I am Rob Chola Giolaya, explaining city graph declaration of variables and display city graph. First is the declaration of variables, the public class graph. This class defines the main structure of a graph. The private list vertices stores all the locations or nodes in the graph. It also has an edges array to hold all the connection between those locations. And lastly, the edge count variable keeps track of how many edges have been added to the graph. Next is the methods. First is the method city graph. The constructor initializes a new city graph object by creating an empty list of vertices using new list. It then sets up an array of edges with a fixed size of 5, meaning the graph can initially store up to 5 edges connections. Lastly, it sets edge count to 0, indicating that no edges have been added yet. Next is the add location method. It creates a new vertex object using the provided location name. Then it adds its newly created vertex to the vertices list, which stores all locations in the graph. This allows the graph to grow by including additional locations as needed. Next is the add path method. It creates a connection between two locations. If the path does not already exist, as checked by checkpath, it first retrieves the corresponding vertex objects for each location name using find location. The method then ensures there is enough space in the edges array and stores to the new edges object, increasing the edge count. Finally, it updates both vertices neighbor lists so each location recognizes the other as a connected point. Next is the checkpath method. It verifies whether both location names correspond to existing vertices in the graph by using find location. If either location cannot be found, it prints an error message and returns false. Otherwise, it returns true, indicating both location exists and the path can be processed. Next is the find location method. It searches through the list of vertices to locate a vertex whose name matches the given location. It compares each vertex name using equals ignore case to allow case-insensitive matching. If no matching vertex is found after checking all entries, it returns null. Next is the ensure edge capacity method. It checks whether the current edges array is full by comparing edge count with the array's length. If the array has reached its capacity, it creates a new array that is twice as large and copies all existing edges into it. This allows the graph to store more paths without running out of space. Lastly, the display city graph method. The display city graph method outputs all location and paths stored in the graph. It first checks whether any vertices exist, and if none are found, it prints graph is empty and stops the method. If locations are present, it prints each location name in the vertices list. After listing the locations, it loops through the edges array up to edge count to display every path that has been added. Each path is printed in a readable format, showing the two connected locations and the distance between them in kilometers.
Dangal greetings, I am Lojo Labigan and i-explain ko is yung get distance method hanggang visualize shortest path method sa graph. First is yung get distance method. Ito yung method na naghahanap kung may direct connections ang dalawang locations. Iniisa-isa niya lahat ng edges para i-check kung magkapareho yung dalawang location names. Kapag nahanap niya yung match, ibinabalik niya yung exact distance nila. Kapag wala talaga silang direct road, magre-return ito ng 999 para sabihin na wala itong direct path. Next is the shortest distance method. Ito ang nagko-compute ng pinaka-short na route mula sa starting location papunta sa ending location. Gumagawa ito ng list na nag-hold ng short distance method ng bawat location. Yung starting spot nilalagay sa 0 at yung ibang locations ay nilalagay mula sa every large value, meaning unknown distance pa. Pinipili nito yung location na may pinakamababang distance na hindi pa nabibisit. Pag napili na, chinecheck nito lahat ng katabing locations at ina-update ang distance kapag may mas short na daan. Sineset din nito yung previous location para mag-rebuild ng path later. Sa dulo, ibinabalik nito yung short distance kung meron or negative value kapag walang route papuntang end. Next is yung get in text method. Hinahanap nito kung pang ilang location sa list ang isang specific vertex. Iniisa-isa nito yung buong vertex list at kapag nag-match, ibinabalik nito yung exact position number. Kapag walang makikita, nagre-return nito ng negative values, so ibig sabihin is not found. Next is yung display shortest path method. Sinisigurado nito na valid ang starting point at ending locations. Kapag valid, ipinapakita nito ang route mula start hanggang end. Nagtatawag ito ng internal method na nagpapakita ng actual na pagkakasunod-sunod na dinaan ng locations. Next is yung print path method. Ito ang gumagawa ng step-by-step na pagpapakita ng route. Gumagamit ito ng previous links ng bawat location para mahanap ang dinaan ng order. Kapag umabot na sa starting location, doon nagsisimula ang pag-print. Ipinapakita nito ang location names ng tamang pagkakasunod-sunod gamit ang connector text sa pagitan. And gumagana ito ng tuloy-tuloy hanggang maabot ang ending location. And lastly is yung visualize shortest path method. Sinisigurado nito na valid ang starting point at ending location bago simula ng computation. Tumatakbo muna ito ng shortest distance computation para ma-update ang previous links ng bawat location. Gumagawa ito ng backward list ng route mula ending location pabalik ng starting point. Pagkatapos mabuo ang route, ipinapakita nito ang bawat location isa-isa. Bawat pagitan ng dalawang sunod na location ay ipinapakita kasama ang layo nila gamit ang vertical visual markers at arrow style text.
So, now greetings, I'm Julius Jerome and this is the continuation of explaining about our program. So, let me explain the emergency class. This class is represent a single emergency event and it's structured like a node in binary search tree. It stores an urgency level, a description of the emergency, and the location where it occurs, or a vertex. It also contains reference to a left and right child emergency, allowing emergencies to be organized and searched efficiently based on urgency. This class includes getter and setter for updating or accessing its stored value. So, greetings, I'm Julius Jerome and I will be explaining the vertex class. This class represent a location or point in a graph. Each vertex stores a location name, a custom list of its neighboring vertices or connections, and it's a previous reference used for pathfinding algorithms like BFS and Dijkstra to trace the route back. When a vertex is created, it automatically initializes empty neighbor list. The class provides getter for the location name, neighbors, and previous vertex, as well as a setter for updating the previous reference. So, greetings, I'm Julius Jerome and I will be explaining again about the edges class. The edges class is represent a connection between two locations in the graph. Each edge stores two object vertex, location 1 and location 2, and the distance between them. It's essentially model and path or road connecting 2 points in a map. The class provides simple getter to access the connected location and their distance. So now greetings, I'm Julius Jerome and this is the continuation of explaining about our program. So let me explain the emergency class. This class is represent a single emergency event and it's structured like a node in binary search tree. It stores an urgency level, a description of the emergency, and the location where it occurs, or a vertex. It also contains reference to a left and right child emergency, allowing emergencies to be organized and searched efficiently based on urgency. This class includes getter and setter for updating or accessing its stored value.
Greetings, my name is Ipil Jardiliro and I'm here to discuss the unit map class. So the unit map class is used to store and manage emergency units using a simple hash table. So each unit has an ID, name, and a location inside the city map. So when adding a unit, the class uses a hash function to find where it should be placed and if the spot is already taken. It moves to the next available position if the spot is already taken. It also checks if the location exists and avoids duplicate unit IDs. So we can see here the class can display all saved units, count how many are active, and find the nearest responder by checking the shortest distance from each unit to the emergency location. So the unit map can keep all responder units organized and easy to find or to search.
Dangal greetings, I am John Winded F. Dagon and I will be discussing the class Emergency BST or yung Emergency Binary Search Tree. Una nga gagawa tayo ng reference for our city graph para ma-access natin yung mga location sa ating graph. Private city graph, and then yung kung saan natin i-store yung mga emergency data, and which is private emergency name route. So, public emergency BST, papasa natin yung graph natin. Then sa loob is ilalagay natin yung graph sa emergency binary search tree. And then yung gagawa tayo ng isang empty tree, which is that root is equal null. So, may get root at set root tayo, which is public emergency get root, i-return niya yung root. Public void set root is i-update niya yung root natin. Which is may parameter siya, which is yung pinasang bagong root. So, public void insert. May tatlo nga tayong pinasa dito, which is yung in urgency, which is yung urgency level. String emergency, which is yung emergency name or yung pangalan ng emergency na i-insert natin. And then yung location. Location name kung saan nangyayari yung emergency na yon, ipapasa din natin. Then, so, gagawa tayo ng vertex emergency location na ang value niya is yung i-return ng method na graph.find location. Sa loob nun is location name. So, ang gagawin nga nito is hahanapin if yung location name is nag-i-exist sa ating graph. Kapag ang ni-return nga nito is null or yung value ng emergency location is equal to null, ibig sabihin nun, wala or hindi nag-i-exist yung location name na yon. Lalabas si emergency location entered not found. Else, kapag nahanap naman, si this.root, ang magiging value niya nga, which is ang i-return ni insert emergency na method, na may apat tayong ipapasa, which is this.root, urgency, emergency, and then yung emergency location. Proceed tayo sa insert emergency. So, yun nga, ito na yung tatlong pinasa natin. Kapag ang root is wala nang laman, or nandun na tayo sa spot or position na wala nang laman yung root, yung magiging value nun, yung root na yon, which ay yung bago nating in-insert na emergency. Is root equal to new emergency, emergency location, return root. Yun ay magiging value nito kasi nag-return na tayo. Kapag hindi naman, check ng if-else natin if yung urgency is mababa sa root.get urgency, yung current root natin, kapag mas mababa, pupunta tayo sa left side ng ating binary search tree. Visit natin yon. And then, pag pabalik ulit tayo, magre-recursion tayo. So, check natin kung null na ba yun, yung kaliwa ng root na yon. Kapag hindi, paproceed tayo. Kapag null, doon na natin ilalagay yung ating emergency or yung current root na may laman ng ating new emergency. Kapag hindi naman or mas malaki, ganun din. Pero sa right side, root that set right, which is yun, magre-recursion. Pero sa right side natin siya kasi mas malaki. And then after that, magre-return na si root or yung unupdated. Then public void display emergency method, which is may papasa natin si emergency. Kapag ang emergency is equal to null, which is walang laman yung ating binary tree, magre-return na siya. Then display emergency.getLeft is i-visit natin yung magre-recursion tayo, i-visit natin yung pinaka-left muna ng ating binary tree, which is yung pinaka-low urgency. And then magpiprint to. Kapag natapos siya at nag-null, or nandun na tayo sa dulo, magre-return siya at magpiprint. Tapos, check niya naman yung right, pupunta siya doon. Tapos yung right side, kukunin niya yung left ng right na yon. And then, ganun, magre-recursion na siya, hanggang mapunta tayo dun sa pinakataas ng ating binary tree. Then, public void display most urgent. So, sa loob, papasa nga natin yung ating root, and then yung emergency, yung gagawa tayo ng node na emergency, equal to so get most urgent root, which is method siya. So, dito muna tayo sa method na yon. Public emergency get most urgent, papasa nga natin si root. Kapag walang laman, i-return natin si null. Kapag may laman, magwa-while loop tayo, pupunta tayo sa pinaka-right ng ating binary tree, which is doon nakalocate ang ating most urgent kasi nga, in-store natin siya na kapag malaki is sa right, kapag maliit sa left. So, after nga na itong method na to, i-return nyo na si current at yun yung magiging value ni emergency. And then, kapag ang ni-return is null, no emergency. Kapag hindi naman, i-display niya na yung ating pinaka-most urgent. So, next naman sa delete. Public void delete int urgency level. Root is equal to delete node. Yung method na delete node is may dalawa tayong pinasa na which is yung root and then yung urgency. So, sa loob naman ng private emergency delete node, ando si emergency root and then int urgency. Kapag walang laman, i-return niya yung non-updated, which is walang nangyari, magre-return si root. Kapag hindi naman, pupunta tayo sa, kapag ang urgency is mas bababa sa root, bibisita tayo sa left. So, sa left side, left subtree natin, which is magre-recursion tayo dito para, bali ang gagawin nga nito is ipo-point niya yung ating current root dun sa pinaka-left. Sa natin siya i-delete kasi yung magiging value ng bagong root natin or yung dinilit natin is which is yung kanyang kaliwa kasi mas mababa siya. Then, ganun din naman sa pag mas malaki, yung magre-recursion na rin tayo, titigil lang tayo kapag nandun na tayo sa mismong location ng ating i-delete or node na i-delete natin. So, dito naman sa else, if yung root.getLeft is equal to null, bali ang gagawin ito kapag ang root natin is walang left child, yung magiging value niya is yung get, yung kanyang right child. Bali, i-replace natin yung data ng root natin sa at value ng ating right child. So, else if naman kapag ang walang anak or walang right child ang ating root, ang magiging value nito is yung root.getLeft or yung kanyang left child. So, dito naman sa isa sa emergency successor equal to root.getRight. So, ang gagawin nga nito kapag ang root nga natin is may have both child, left and right, ang gagawin nga nito is kukunin niya yung tawag doon, pinaka left child ng kanyang right child. So, kapag nandun na tayo, yung value nga ni root is yung value ng left child ng kanyang right child, pinaka left child. So, once na ma-pointer na natin yon, ipapalitan na yung value ng ating root, which is ret dot search urgency. Kukunin natin yung successor, which is yung successor nga natin yung pinaka left child or left child ng ating right child ng root. So, then set emergency, ganun din, set location, and then itong set right, ang purpose nga nito is i-delete natin yung duplicate, which is yung kasi nag-i-exist pa din si yung left child ng right child ng root. After that, magre-return root, which is tapos na, delete node, and yun lang sa ating class emergency BST. Thank you.
Greetings and good afternoon. My name is Katus Torres, and ang i-explain ko po na part is yung summary. So, itong image po yung gagamitin kong reference or yung i-explain ko po kung paano po nakuha. So, dito po sa menu natin, pag ni-type po ni user yung number 8, which is yung summary po, lalabas po yung summary report natin. And yung content po ng summary report is total emergencies, resolve, pending, average response distance, total responders active, or at system efficiency, kung gaano po ka-effective yung system natin. Tapos, explain ko po kung paano sila lahat nakuha. So, una, total emergencies. Ito po yung nagpapakita kung ilan po yung number or yung total po ng emergency na nadagdag sa system. So, paano nga po siya nalalaman? So, dito po sa case 4, kita po natin na dito po, pag pinili po yung number 4 ng user, matatawag po yung case 4, which is add emergency request. Tapos, ayan, mag-add po yung user dito ng emergency. So, pag natapos na po yan, matatawag po yung summary.increment emergencies. So, pupunta po tayo sa summary class. Tapos, ito po yun. Increment emergency equals total emergency plus. Mag-increment po siya ng bilang kung ilan po ba yung total emergencies. Ayun po. So, ito po, for example, 6 po yung naging total emergencies natin. Next, dito naman po tayo sa resolve. So, yung resolve po, pinapakita naman po nito yung incidents na successfully na-resolve na ng dispatchers. So, dito po mahanap yan sa case 7. So, after po mahanap yung nearest responder, kukompute niya po yung route, and pag-resolve ng incident, ay madidelete na po siya. Ito po. So, ito po. After po nito, matatawag po yung summary.increment resolve. So, babalik po tayo sa summary at increment resolve. Ito po yung incidents resolve plus. So ito, ano po ba tong this na to? So, yung dist po is yung parameter na nanggagaling sa graph. That shortest distance, in-ensure po na only valid distances are added. Bakit nga ba important? Kasi mamaya, ito po ay important para ma-measure yung efficiency ng system natin. Okay, so, next, yung pending. So, sa pending po, ito po yung total number ng emergency na hinihintay mag-resolve. Parang, backlog. So, sa display summary po, sa display summary po, matatawag po yung case 8, which is, display summary. And pagpunta po natin sa summary class, yung total emergencies minus incidents resolved. Tulad po sa example kanina, 6 po yung naging total emergencies na nalagay po natin sa system. And yung na-resolve is 6 din po. So, 6 minus 6 equals 0. Kaya wala na pong pending na emergencies. Next naman po sa average response distance. So, ito po yung average distance na na-travel para po sa lahat ng resolve incidents. Para po makuha po natin yung efficiency ng system. So, paano nga ba nakukuha to? So, in increment resolve, successful dispatch adds the distance. So, to total distance. Then, sa display summary, ito po yung total distance at saka yung incidence resolve. So, for example, yung distance po ay 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and 1.8 kilometers. Para po sa tatlong resolves, ang mangyayari po ay total distance equals 6.8 kilometers, average equals 2.27 kilometers. Pero po sa case namin, 1.8 kilometers po para po sa 6 resolve. So, yung distance galing po sa graph, that shortest distance, na gumagamit po ng priority queue para po sa pinakamaliit na paths. So, next, sa total responders active naman po, pinapakita po nito kung ilang responders po ba yung active sa system. Kung paano po ba nakukuha. Just tatawagin po yung unit map get active unit count para po malaman. So, pupunta po tayo sa unit map na class. Tapos, dito po sa get active unit count. So, chine-check po niya kung yung keys is not null. Null means an empty slot. So, kung hindi po siya null, may unit po doon and nag-increment po yung count. So, ayun, kung paano po makuha yung total responders active. Tapos, lastly, para naman po sa system efficiency, ito po yung nagre-rate ng overall performance po ng system based po sa average distance. So, paano nga po ba? So, sa display summary after makompute yung or makalculate yung average distance, nagamit siya ng conditional logic. Ito po. So, ito, pag yung average distance is not greater or equal to 5, yung efficiency niya ay excellent. Else, if average distance is not greater than or equals to 10, ang efficiency are good lang. Else, yung mga ibang number na ay fair na. So, for 1.8 kilometer nga po, na average response distance ay syempre magiging excellent po. So, ayun lang po sa summary. Thank you po.
Bengal greetings, my name is Kevin Franz Buena, and today ako naman yung mag-i-explain ng program output namin. Since tapos na yung pag-i-explain or pag-discuss ng mga different classes or codes namin, punta naman tayo sa program output. So, try natin i-run. So, dito, sa pinakaunang menu, nakikita natin yung title ng aming program na Smart City Emergency Response Management System or SCERMS. So sa first na choice, nakalagay is yung Initialize City Map. So dito makikita natin yung mga map and responses na available. And also, sa second choice is yung Add Location. The third choice is Add Responded Unit. Fourth is Add Emergency Request. Fifth is emergency request received. Sixth is most urgent emergency. And 7, dispatch responder. And 8, summary. And also the exit system. So, try natin is yung first na choice, which is yung initialize city map. So, pag in-enter natin yung 1, eto. Lalabas ito and makikita natin kung ano yung mga available na locations and also the distances between them. So, sa Cabuyao City to Banay-Banay is 3 kilometers. Banay-Banay to Pulo is 2 kilometers. Pulo to Jesmo is 7 kilometers. Pulo to San Isidro is 4 kilometers. And San Isidro to Mamatid is 2 kilometers. And also, nakikita din natin dito yung mga available responders, which is yung police unit and yung ID nila and located sa Pulo and available siya ngayon. Also, the fire truck at Mamatid and ambulance at Cabuyao City. So, try naman natin yung choice number 2, which is mag-add tayo ng location. So, ayan. Pag in-enter natin yung number 2, may lalabas dito na message na adding a new location, and ilalagay natin yung location or yung name ng location. So for example, ilalagay natin is Sala. Ayan. Tapos magtatanong ang program namin if mag-a-add ba kami ng bagong location paths. So try natin yes. So from Sala, i-connect natin siya sa Cabuyao City. And ilalagay natin kung ilan yung distance in kilometers between Sala to Cabuyao City. So for example, ilalagay natin is 6 kilometers. Ayan. And ito is naka-loop siya. So tatanungin si user if gusto niya pa ba ng mag-add ng mga bagong location paths to different locations. So assume na lang natin na ito lang muna yung ating i-connect. So try natin inuna to. And yun. Pag in-enter natin yung 0 or no, babalik siya uli sa main menu. So dito naman sa third choice, which is yung add respondent unit, mag-a-ask yung program kung ano yung pangalan ng respondent. So for example, lalagay natin, since may police unit na, lalagay natin police motor. And dito sa ID, bahala na si user kung ano yung ID na ilalagay, basta integer yung ilalagay nila. So for example, lalagay natin yung ID is 56 and na sa Sala siya. Located siya sa Sala. Ayan. Since sa 56, which is yung sa aming map, is may nakalagay na or may nakastore na respondent doon. Mayroong nangyayaring collision sa index 0, which means magmo-move siya sa next index. So if walang laman yung index 1, doon siya mag-a-add, or kung wala naman, susunod siya sa index number 2. So as naka-indicate na doon na na-add na yung respondent. So try natin i-check. Ayan. Police motor. Since yung police unit is at index 0, yung police motor is pupunta siya sa index 1. So, add natin yung emergency request. So, dito sa emergency request, mag-a-ask si program kung ano yung emergency report. No? So, for example, may theft report. No? Tapos, i-ask ni program kung saan yung location ng emergency na yun. So, for example, sa San Isidro. And, ilalagay kung ano yung urgency. So, for example, yung urgency is 9. Ayan. Since successful yung pag-a-add ng emergency report, babalik uli yung program natin sa main menu. So dito sa number 5, i-check natin kung na-receive ba talaga yung report na yun. Ayan. Since sa code namin is may naka-built-in na dummy data, and ito yung mga laman ng dummy data na yun. So ito, yung theft report at San Isidro and urgency 9 is yung in-enter natin kanina sa add emergency request. So successful siya na-add sa emergency request. Next naman is i-check natin kung ano yung most urgent emergency. So ilalagay natin is yung choice na 6. Yan. So based dito sa emergency request received natin, yung urgency 10, which is yung fire breakout, ito yung pinaka urgent na emergency report. So since check natin dito kung sa choice 6, yung most urgent emergency, makikita natin kung ano yung pinaka-urgent na emergency. So, since na-determine na natin kung ano yung map, naka-add na tayo ng location, ng emergency unit, and kung ano yung mga emergency reports na na-receive, try naman natin mag-dispatch ng responder. So, pag in-enter natin yung 7, hanapin ni program kung ano yung pinaka-urgent na emergency. Since yung fire breakout at Mamatid, which has an urgency of 10, siya yung pinaka-urgent na emergency. And dito, maghanap si program kung ano yung pinaka-nearest na responder. Since merong nearest na responder which is sa mamatid is yung fire truck, siya mismo yung pupunta, yung fire truck na mismo to, yung pupunta doon sa fire breakout sa mamatid. So, i-compute niya kung gaano kalayo yung from responder to the emergency location. Since yung emergency location is sa mamatid lang, and yung responder is at mamatid also, bali yung magiging distance niya is 0 kilometers. So, no? So, sasabihin ng program dito na no travel required, and if na-resolve na yung emergency, magdi-display siya ng incident result. And ayun. So, check natin if talaga bang na-resolve yung emergency na yun. Enter natin yung 5. Ayan. Makikita natin na wala na yung fire breakout at pamatid na may urgency na 9. Na 10. So, check natin. Since wala na yung 10, which is yung pinaka-urgent na emergency, check natin kung ano naman yung sunod na emergency. Or sunod na most urgent emergency. Lagay natin yung 6. Ayan. So, nagbago na siya. Maglalabas na siya or magdi-display na siya ng theft report at San Isidro since ang pinaka-urgent siya, which is 9. So, try natin i-dispatch uli. Ayan. Dito, hahanapin ng program kung ano yung pinaka-urgent na emergency, which is yung theft report at San Isidro. Tapos, maghahanap siya ng nearest responder. And yung pinaka-nearest responder is yung fire truck sa mamatid. Iko-compute niya kung ilang yung distance between mamatid to San Isidro. So dito, i-visualize niya din kung ano yung magiging daan ng responder. So from mamatid, which is yung start, 2 kilometers between the locations, and pupunta siya sa San Isidro, which is doon yung incident. And magdi-display siya ng incident result. So try natin i-dispatch lahat ng emergency, no? Ayan. Ayan. So dito, dinispatch lahat natin ng emergency, which means wala na dapat na laman. No? So, pag in-enter natin yung 7, kung wala nang laman yung sa emergency request received, maglalagay siya ng most emergency ng no emergency, which means wala nang emergency. So, yung gagawin ni user is maglalagay siya uli ng panibagong emergency request, and yun. So, since nakapag-dispatch na rin tayo ng mga responders sa mga emergencies, try natin i-print yung summary ng program natin. No? So dito makikita natin yung summary report, no, yung total emergency, which is yung nilagay kanina natin, which is 6, and na-resolve din natin yon na silang 6. And wala na tayong pending since nakalagay na dito is no emergencies. And yung average response distance, which is 1.8 kilometers. And the total responders na active is 4. And system efficiency is excellence. So, tapos na tayo sa mga functions ng aming program. And dito sa 0, which is yung exit system, and mag-exit lang siya. So, magdi-display siya ng exit system now. Thank you for using SCRMS. So, ayun lang po sa aming program output discussion. I hope na marami kayong natutunan and marami kayong naintindihan sa aking pagdi-discuss. So, yun lamang po.